Okay, take two. There's one aspect of competitions that I wanted to cover. There's actually a couple aspects, but let's deal with these one at a time. The first main one is as soon as you get to star four, no, actually, starting in star two, you have two separate parts on your report card. I wish I had a report card here to show you. The top are the elements, where you have basically very set elements, especially in star two, three, four. And even later on, you have a pretty narrow range of elements you're allowed to do. So most of the kids are doing basically the same elements. And then you have the bottom set of marks, which are called the program component marks, or program composition, program components, something like that. This is the bottom one measures your basic skating ability, speed, presentation, posture, positions, aesthetics, stretch, turn ability, agility, balance, control, power, all the basic things. The elements are how you specifically do the jumps, the spins, spirals, footwork. Yeah, that's it. Ideally, and if you're a strong, well-balanced skater, both sets of marks when you get to star 5 should be the same. Your top score should match your bottom score. You know you're having problems if you have a really lopsided one or the other. Generally speaking, most of my skaters, especially right now, the top score is much higher than the bottom score, the elements, because I work a lot on fine-tuning and technique and perfection and aesthetics, which mainly just affects elements. This is more about how often you skate, how strong you are, how balanced you are, how confident you are in your skating ability, which is really only improved or mostly improved through time on the ice. So if this set of scores is now, that's not necessarily true. I've had skaters that have had double the score up top who skated a lot, who just didn't really pay attention to straight arms, arm positions, power going into jumps, stroking technique, stroking presentation, head up, arms up. That's kind of all stuff you have to be somewhat aware of, hopefully all the time. But it's very much easier in solos to forget about all the bottom stuff and just focus on jumps and spins and what's next and what I have to do in what order, which is a huge mistake, because if you neglect the bottom part, you're going to be losing a huge part of your score. I really don't know what the point of this video is, except to say that they should be basically balanced. You want to be as good a skater as you are a jumper and spinner. You don't want to have good jumps and spins and lousy stuff in between them, nor do you really want to have super great skating in between and really lousy jumps and spins. But I don't think I've ever had that. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a skater who had a better bottom mark than top mark. I guess if you bomb your solo and fall on all the jumps and screw up a couple spins, you're going to have a higher bottom score than top score. But generally speaking, all my skaters tend to have really high scoring elements and maybe 2/3 as high a score in the bottom section. If you start getting like a 2-to-1 ratio from one to the other, you're starting to run into big problems.